everybody. So, as promised, I'm going to be sharing more info about who I am and my journey to where I am now. And it was supposed to be real, but the more that I tried to make it condense and condense and condense, it just lost the essence in the story. So I'm gonna tell the whole story and post it on IGTV. I know it's long, and I know you guys would prefer for it to be a quick video, and I'm sorry about that. But I've gone through a lot of things in my life that have gotten me to this point. And healing isn't easy, and even talking about it isn't easy, because it's a long journey. So trying to condense a long journey, man, it's literally almost impossible, well, at least for me. So, from the beginning, what I would say is it all started when I was quite young. I grew up with three sisters, absolutely beautiful, completely just like mind blowing how beautiful they are. We are. And I was the ugly duckling sister. So, everyone always said that I was like the ugliest sister, basically. My teeth have always been like this, and I love them. So finally, but I didn't know that we had to seek our own counsel before others. And that was a big thing that I had to learn on my journey to spirituality from drugs. So when I was a kid, I was bullied a lot. People compared me to my sisters a lot, and made me kind of feel like I was inferior, like I wasn't good enough, and that basically affected like my confidence. I've always been able to sing, I've always been able to act and to dance, but because I didn't look the way that what the beauty standard says a singer should look like, when I would sing and things like that, a lot of people wouldn't really even like people would not even recognize that what they were hearing was incredible. Like they literally would just kind of pass by me. And it's funny because once I blossomed and got older, and then my face started to thin out, and then I started to work out, and then I became a yoga instructor, it's like people are all over me now, and they're like, oh, you're so amazing, your voice is so amazing. And it's like very interesting how the human brain perceives sounds based off of what they see. And that taught me a lot. um, so in high school, I basically, started to lose weight and stuff, and I was feeling myself because I was playing soccer at the time. So I actually, with all the like high school boys and stuff, were trying to like, you know, shoot the shot, but I was just like, not all of them, to be honest. There's still a few that I wish did. I'm not even lying, but um, you probably know who you are if you're watching this. Vibe. But anyways, in high school, I dated a drug dealer slash pimp, and because I wasn't trying to date people in high school, doesn't mean that I should have dated a drug dealer and a pimp, but also doesn't mean it's bad. I learned a lot. I learned how to be a businesswoman. I learned like so many things. I don't sell drugs, but you know what I'm saying. You learn a lot. Um, and he always respected me, and like it was a I mean, at the time it seemed healthy, but really now that I think about it, I'm like, don't think it was. I feel actually like I was being groomed, actually. But that is where my addiction to cocaine started. So he just always had it. Always. If I was annoyed about something or whatever, like his solution to any argument or anything was like to give me weed or to give me cocaine or MDMA or ecstasy or like things like that. Well, not MDMA. I actually only tried that when I moved to England when I was 17. So yeah, what I'm speaking about right now, I was 14 years old when this started. So the journey started at 14 years old. And the reason why I got so addicted to cocaine was because who I was when I was on it. This, confident, celestial, ethereal being that I am right now. And I've always been. But for some reason, I truly thought that it emerged from the drugs, but the drugs just helped me tap into that part of my brain so that I could emerge and truly be myself, and share myself with the world. So it's funny how we misinterpret these things, and I feel like a lot of these drugs as well, in the right setting, can actually be used for very healing ceremonies and therapeutic means of healing. Um, in a very small amount in the right place with someone who knows what they're doing, um, you can have like a beautiful, beautiful experience. Um, yeah, so that was kind of the beginning of that for me. And then I basically just kind of was like, no one really knew that this was happening, basically, but I was growing a dependency to drugs. It was as if I didn't have the cocaine, or if I didn't have like ecstasy or whatever, that I felt like I couldn't really be at like public settings or something. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but that was very much like the energy of how it felt. It was like without them, I wasn't myself, and that was like, it was a really hard thing to experience, honestly. Um, and then my mom married an English man, and then we moved to England. Uh, when I was right before we moved to England, I had just left a gang, a female gang, where we were like jumping people and all this stuff. And I never fit in because it was never really who I was. I was just trying to fit into the city that I lived in. I'm from North Highlands, California, Sacramento, 916. Hey, but still, it's not. It never was who I was, and everyone who was in it knew that. They knew. That's probably why people didn't like me. It's like, she's fake, because she was fake. She wasn't being true to herself. Like, she was being so fake. Like, it's never been my journey. It's never been my journey to be violent. It's never been my journey to hurt anyone. It's never been my journey ever to be in like a group of people who's trying to attack my festival band. It's never been my journey, basically. I'm aware now that I'm a lone wolf. I'm aware that my journey is singular. I'm aware that it is very lonely also, but it's not lonely when you understand that you're not really alone, which is something that I have to teach myself and relearn every single day. So you're not alone as well. If you're thinking that and you're like, I know this information, but I still feel alone, you're not alone. I feel it as well. Like, we just have to remind ourselves of how long we've come on our journey, and even though you dip back and forth sometimes, you have like the knowledge that you need that will take you to where you're trying to go. So keep going. You've got this. Yeah. So after leaving that gang and everything, we moved to England. So random. My mom married an English man. They met on Words for Friends, the Scrabble app. Like, literally, I'm not even joking. Fell in love, and we moved to England. So that's how I ended up in England. For real Disney story shit. Like, I'm literally about to be like Netflix. Netflix, book us. Anyway, um, yeah, so when I got to England, I started college. I had to basically start college, like, I was done with high school because I finished early, went to private school, not private school, sorry. I went to independent studies, so like homeschooling, so that I could kind of take control of what I was learning, how I was learning, and it's better for me to learn that way. I like that. Um, so then I moved here, and then I was in the same grade as my sister, who is a year and a half younger than me, but really and truly, we are the same in so many ways. People have always thought that we were twins, and we don't say no, because why not? Um, yeah, so I started college and moving to another country after, kind of changing myself, and like I could see that I was emerging into someone. I just didn't really know who she was yet. Um, moving to England was an integral part of my journey. Going to college, having the opportunity to be around other performing like artists. I did performing arts in college as well, so I got to learn how to sing properly. I got to learn how to use breath control, and I was so grateful to have dance classes and to be able to learn about acting and these things that I've always absolutely cherished, but never had the means to be able to go and study them because it costs so much in America to do anything in the arts. It's ridiculous. So I was just really like high on that energy. I remember when I was preparing for school, I had like my binders and I had like my pens and papers and like like when you're just so excited. I color coordinated like certain things like through the coursework and stuff, and oh my goodness, even when I look at it now, it is so well, like it makes so much sense because it's so well done. So like even now I can go back and like study my own notes like from when I was in college and stuff, and it really helps me because we did We learned about the music business. We learned about the industry. We learned about how to become a business, how to function as a business, all these things, contracts, legalities. So it's nice to have that information literally right there in that bottom section of my little mini library, because pretty soon it's gonna go shoop. Actually, where was I? Right. So I started college. I didn't know anybody, obviously, just knew my sister. We were doing different things as well. So she was doing business, I was doing performing arts. When I first started, I was super nervous. I was having such a bad day on the first day because they did like a placement test for me to see where I would be. But basically, like I wasn't good at testing back then, so it was really hard for me to like take the test basically. So they were like not sure if I was supposed to be in level 2 or level 3. So then when I went to level 3, they were like, "Oh, she is level 3. I don't know why we doubted it." And I'm like, "Cause you're a bitch, bro. You think everyone's fucking." Sorry, but the school system's fucked. I almost went off, but I was just like, hold it back, hold it back. But yeah, the this is my friend Camo. Hey, I don't even know if you can hear the music, but oh my god. Yeah, I've got ADHD if you're wondering why I keep going. But yeah, anyways, so started college. I was very nervous because everyone, it already started for like 2.5 weeks, so everyone kind of cemented their bonds and cliques and everyone was all grouped up already. So when I joined in, I was like, oh, this is so annoying. Like I have to like insert myself into like one of these, and I didn't know where I fit, you know, because I didn't really know who I was. I didn't know even where I fit within myself or my family or anything. So knowing where I fit in college was a bit mad for me. And when you overthink a lot, it kind of can cause like a whole lot of bullshit going on in your brain where you literally kind of shut down and then you just don't speak. You become quite silent, and then people think that you're mean, and then they look at you and think you have like evil eyes and shit, but you're literally just like so like I'm gonna try and do it. I'm an actor, so I can do this. Hold on. That. So that was the energy that people received, and they're just like, who is this new girl who's coming to the class? Just fucked up the whole vibration, the whole energy. Whoa. Luckily, it changed quickly. Once I said I was from California, everyone was like, oh my god, where? And they loved me, and then I became one of the most popular girls in my college. Fucking ridiculous, because in high school I was like that awkward girl just trying to get invited to the parties, and like my younger sister just joined high school, and then she's like, oh, do you want to come with me to this basketball party? And I'm just like, are they gonna want me to be there though? And then she literally was like, I told them if they want me to come, I have to bring my sister. And like that's why we're so close. Like she's literally my best friend. um but yeah, so it literally just went shoop, and then I was like super popular. People wanted to spend time with me, wanted to be with me at lunch. People were like, oh, Ariel, come with us to the smoking section, da 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 da. Like everyone was always wanting to be around me, whereas that was not my life before. I wasn't used to that energy whatsoever. People loved that I dressed differently, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I've never been in a place before where people actually want me to express myself. Like, wait, you don't want me to fall into a line. You don't want me to be a sheep. You actually want me to be myself. Wow. And that was my reaction to England. We lived in like the countryside at the time as well, like Wheat Hampstead. That has no fucking train station. Wheat Hampstead, not West Hampstead. So Wheat Hampstead is in Hertfordshire, and it basically has no train station, bare old people. Like there's literally no young people that live there. I'm sorry if you live in Wheat Hampstead and you're seeing this, but this shit, that place is dead. Like nature-wise, absolutely amazing. I could be there all day long, just chilling by that River Lee, under that weeping willow tree, with the bench right under it. I'm sorry, but I feel just saw the moment. It's incredible. Nature is absolutely beautiful. Moving to England was a big part of, connecting me with nature, and connecting me with nature is what connected me to myself. Spending a lot of time by myself because I didn't have a lot of people around me, it kind of helped me to go within myself. So the first few years that I moved here, it was kind of like my incubation period, very much like I was loading, like I don't know where I was going, but I was loading. And then when I finished college, I basically found out that I couldn't go to university because I didn't have a visa, and I was really sad. That really threw my whole shit. But then I fell in love, and that was actually my like trigger into my spirituality and my journey to who I am now. I fell in love with an amazing man named Dennis Nuzawera. We were both very young when we met. I think I was 19, he was 19 as well. Our birthday was literally like 5 days apart. We were both Aquariuses as well. I think his birthday was the second. Pretty sure it is. I'm not sure for sure, but yeah, the second. And mine's the seventh. So obviously very close birthdays. We both had a lot of trauma that we dealt with growing up. He was basically like the second son, and he was treated very much like the second son, if that makes sense, in a Cameroon family as well. So very like I'm not trying to be mean or any of that, but in these cultures and stuff, it's very controlling ways of raising your children. It's not really like you're raising your children. It's like you're raising, what's the right word? It's like you're trying to raise a clone of yourself, or a clone of what you thought you wanted to be, or a clone of what you think they should be, rather than raising who's actually in front of you. I've noticed that a lot in a lot of African and Jamaican families. So yeah, and that was basically his reality. He had a lot of like deep-seated pain, a lot of inner child healing, and so did I. So our relationship, it moved so fast. We fell in love literally in like 2 weeks, and it was like volatile. We were very volatile. We didn't really know how to communicate with each other. We didn't spend that much time trying to learn each other's communication styles before we got into a relationship. That caused a lot of issues for us. And then the relationship became emotionally abusive on both sides. And starting to like manipulate each other's minds, you know what I mean? It was so toxic, our relationship. I was sad all the time. I remember the feeling. I always felt like what always went through my head when I was with him was like that I wasn't good enough. Constantly, I always thought that. And like a few other things as well, because he would say some things, and that when you love somebody and they think something negative about you or something bad about you, you then start to like retain that and think it about yourself because you really care about that person. So what they think matters, you know? So I would say be careful how you speak to the person you love, because it matters how you think about them. Seriously, they really care. Even if they make it seem like they don't, that's a defense mechanism. But yeah, anyway, so that was like our relationship was quite, toxic, very volatile. It was kind of just like it was like, oh, I don't want to look like a dickhead, like it was that energy. Whereas like really and truly, we both looked like dickheads because we shouldn't have been in that relationship. But like, obviously it was what we were supposed to go through, because I mean, I don't know where he is. I don't know how he is, but I hope he's okay. Yeah, but this relationship kind of, the way that it ended, basically, let's go fast forward it to the end. The way it ended was he broke my finger when we got into an argument. We were arguing because he was rolling my weed, but he was then calling me all types of bitches, slut, this, that, and whatever. At the time when he was saying those things, I was in a monogamous relationship, obviously. So monogamy was like, sorry, I got like random shit. Monogamy was like what I thought a relationship was supposed to be, if that makes sense. And through my healing and through my spiritual journey, I've now become polyamorous, which makes a lot of sense, why he would think I was the way that he thought I was. Because if I saw like attractive men and stuff, like I was like, I'm not gonna just like ignore them, like I'm not gonna like be like, damn, but I'm gonna kind of look like, is that okay? I don't care if you think it's not, because you're not my man. But anyways, yeah, and like I would literally, like, if I saw pretty girls and stuff, I'd be like, oh, she's fine, like. And guys don't care when you say stuff about girls, but for some reason when you talk about guys, it's like I don't know. Yeah, so I basically, that was kind of like an issue with us as well. Um, as an Aquarius, we are very like flirting people. We flirt a lot. We flirt with our friends. Like we flirt with everybody, man. Like we just love to flirt. We love to make people happy and smile, and like we just like it. I don't know what to tell you. Like we're very bubbly, high vibrational beings, and we want to send that energy in as many directions as we can. At least this Aquarius here. I don't know about everybody else, but me personally, that's my truth. What's funny, it's obviously not all Aquariuses because he's an Aquarius. So yeah. Um, but yeah, so we were getting into an argument, and he was rolling my weed, saying all of that, and then I smashed it. Like I smacked it off of the, what's the middle thing? The glove. No, there's like a thing that you open in a car. I don't drive, so I don't know, but it's like the thing in the middle, and you can open it. You can store stuff inside of it. Basically, that's where he was rolling on. I smacked it off. He grabbed my finger, twisted it, and then broke it, and we could both hear it. And then he just like kept going. So he then was like trying to push me against like, that just basically I do not need to actually explain all of that because it doesn't really matter. But basically things went very south. They went south. I was gonna say west. I'm sorry, that was so funny to me. I don't know why I said west, but things went west. We're gonna stick with that. Things went west, and then I was just trying to get my stuff, get to a train station and go home. But he kept like following me, and he like broke all my makeup. At the time I wore so much makeup you wouldn't even believe it, that I'm me then, if you make sense. I looked like an anime character because I wore so much makeup. But yeah, so basically like in the end he basically had to take me home, so he took me home. And then because my mom basically told him, if you don't take her home, I'm gonna call the police on you. We have your number plates. We know where you live. Da 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 da. So he took me home, and then I went in the house. I blocked him. I never spoke to him again. Other than one time when he walked. He was like driving actually, and I was getting my parents Indian food from this takeout place, like as like a thank you for helping me and stuff. And then he was there just screaming my name out his car, and I literally just looked at him and was like, don't ever say my name again. You lost that right when you broke my finger. And then I went home. And he still to this day goes around that old house. I don't live there, but he still goes over there and tries to like find me and shit, and they're like, she does not live here. um, but yeah, so basically through that experience, I was like, fuck this. I'm not going to be with like guys like that anymore. Like I need to make sure to never give my power away regardless of what kind of relationship I'm in. So I was like, fuck relationships. I'm going to focus on myself. I am the most important person in my life, and I always will be. And that was kind of the beginning of my self-love journey. And self-love led me to my spirituality, saying affirmations to myself through my music, Moonlight actually. Um, Love yourself, do what you think is right until you're gone. Like these things I was singing when I was performing, and then through time I started to actually retain it, and I started to practice what I was preaching. Um, and then I basically was like distracted myself with shows and things like that. I got really, really again addicted to cocaine again. I feel like it happens a lot in these like down moments when I look at my past and I see these things, that it's like part of it. So I was like working at this shop that also sold weed, like in Shoreditch, and there was another one in Hackney as well. Not gonna tell you what shop it is because I'm not a snitch, mate. Anyway, so you can tell when someone's like was a hood chick. It comes out sometimes, like you can just see it. But yeah, basically, uh, I worked at that shop, and like I was getting like a lot of it, basically like consistently selling it as well as doing it, and selling other things as well. And then basically like um, um, it was like I couldn't like perform or do anything unless I had like a bump of coke, a line. I needed at least a line, like to be able to like function. I was drinking at every single show, every performance you see of me doing Moonlight. I was hammered, fam. Like I was absolutely fucked at all those shows, and you have no idea. When I'm there in the crowd talking to you, we're taking pictures and all of that, you're interviewing me afterwards, you had no idea that I saw two of you. The whole time I saw two of you. But yeah, so that was like, I was starting to go in a bad way. I could feel that it was happening. I was being groomed into the industry, working with Capital Extra, BBC Introducing, and like all these different, companies that literally lead you right into the industry. It's super easy when you work with them. It's like zoop, zoop. So I was going to like Abbey Road Studios. I got to sign my name next to Amy Winehouse's. Like it was incredible. I remember crying so much that day. And like you go to these studios, someone comes in with a briefcase and they are wearing a suit and they just open it and there's like all these different drugs in it. And you don't have to pay for it. They're just giving it to you so that you perform your best or do your best song or whatever. Like, so there's a lot of back alley shit in the industry that a lot of people don't know. So because I was progressing as an artist and my name was getting known, I was getting more of those opportunities. So I was getting a lot of free drugs. Getting free drugs is a scary thing, especially if it's like these hard, like, not okay, that you shouldn't be doing that all the time, that probably shouldn't really be at all. Like, I personally don't think that cocaine is like, there's no benefit of it for me. If I can like truly look at you right now and tell you it is like a band-aid for everything, whereas like with ecstasy, with a very small amount, you could actually travel into your mind. You can unlock some shit. With cocaine, it's literally just like zzz, zzz. That's it. It doesn't take you anywhere. Um, Whereas with these other drugs, there's actual gateways and avenues in your brain that can lead you to realms and different worlds and shit. So, yeah, even though I still don't do those, I, I'm not like judging anyone who does them as well. Just so you know, like, please live your life. I don't think that you should say, because what I'm saying is, for me, it was bad. When I took these drugs and stuff, it made me feel like I was better. I thought that I sang better. I thought that I performed better. I thought everything I did was better and more enhanced on these drugs, but it wasn't. It wasn't at all. Because when I look back at videos now, and me just vibing in my room is better now than when I was performing on stage, literally half naked, twerking at the crowd. Like, it's not, it wasn't even, there was no soul in it. There was no soul in it. And that's what's missing in most music these days. But yeah, so it started to take me in the wrong way. I was putting myself in the wrong direction. And then I got booked into this festival called Stand in Colin Festival by MC Angel. And she is my angel. I tell her this all the time. When I met her, I could tell that everyone knew there was just something off about me. I could tell they knew. When I come to that festival, I didn't have any drugs with me, like even weed, because I didn't know if it would get taken away from me, so I didn't bring anything. But then I was offered something by someone. I still don't know what I was offered, but the person was trustworthy. So I trusted them and I took it. But I think like I was really cold as well. So there's a lot of different contributing factors to this. Don't know if I even ate properly that day. Like there's a lot of things, but when I took it, I basically nearly overdosed. Like my body starts seizing up. I could feel I was dying. I can even remember this feeling. It was fucking crazy. It felt like my body was about to come out, and it felt like my soul was about to come out of my body. And I remember I looked at my friends and I was like, I have to sit down. I have to sit down. And at the time, we were also at the drum and bass tent as well. We were listening to that, like shit like that, So it was really fucking with me, especially like because of the drugs and everything, and it was just a lot. I hadn't gotten to that euphoric state, like when you freak out usually most times, and then you kind of calm down and everything becomes okay. That didn't happen, not this time. My body literally was dying. My toes were crunched up like this, and like the only way I could straighten it was with my hand, and then once I let go, it went right back again. And it was so scary. It was like the most scary thing that I've ever experienced until recently, but that story is coming soon. So I basically sat down, told my friends I'm sitting down. Like I'm not going into that room with that music. I'm so sorry, but I'm sitting here. Then I literally just hear this voice. At the time, I didn't know that it was me, but obviously now, being so connected with her, I know that it was me and my higher self. And she said, "You don't need any of those drugs." And I heard it, and I was like, "I fucking don't, you know. I don't need any of these drugs." And then it literally was like, as I felt like I was actually about to die, like genuinely, I thought this was God, and I thought that I was just about to die on the floor. Many people that I've spoken to as well about this experience, they said you were overdosing. Like that was an overdose, and it was such a small amount as well. And but I'm a lightweight, so that happens. And then I felt this like smack on my back, like it was like smacking the life back into me. That's what it was. And what it was my astral body. My astral body lifted out of me, went behind me, and smacked my back. And then I start projectile vomiting like in fucking Scary Movie, like, ah. I wasn't down like this. I was like, ah. Wow. It was a very spiritual experience. The whole thing was amazing. And then I was like, oh my God, I feel so much better now that I've gotten that out of my body. Went back to the tent, smoked a spliff, went to sleep. Woke up the next day, and I was like, I remember I just woke up so early, which always happens, the afterglow and stuff. You wake up so early after drugs and stuff, like if you got to sleep. But yeah, so I'm walking outside and I feel like the breeze on my body, and I just felt so grateful to be alive. I felt so grateful that that experience happened, because it truly showed me that these things aren't for me. I'm not meant to be doing this shit. Like it really was taking me in the whole other direction from who I was supposed to be and where I'm supposed to go. And who you see in front of you right now, she would have been dead. She wouldn't have existed. And that is a profound realization to have already. Then I look over and I hear these beautiful women and men chanting this Buddhist chant, Nam Myo Renge